thank you guys so much for taking the time to meet today. Elizabeth, it really means a lot to us that you're taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us a little bit more about your upcoming campaign with United Way. Your support of us in the past has been so crucial, especially in light of last year and how crazy it was. But, you continue to step up and really be a support for our community. So thank you so much for doing so. And I know Brian is an old friend, so we're excited to meet with you today and talk a little bit more about your campaign. So Brian, I will turn it over to you.
You bet. Thanks, Gina. Elizabeth, I'll echo Gina's sentiment. Thank you so much for your support over the years. You guys had a great 2020 campaign. As a volunteer caller, we want to start out with just a few questions about you and your business. So coming out of a pandemic, how is your business doing?
Well, we're holding our own, just like everybody. It's definitely been a change for our company and our business and how we do work and how we'll continue to work going forward, with hybrid work schedules and offering a lot more flexibility. That is definitely something that it was new to our organization and something that our employees really felt was a benefit. And so we'll be looking to continue to do that. But we're fortunate that our business is continuing to be strong and people supported us through the pandemic. And so, look, our future is bright.
Awesome. This is an open discussion, by the way. Are there any topics, campaign or not related, you want to talk about at this time?
Well, I think just remembering, we're really appreciative of everything the United Way does in our community. And, a lot of the customers we serve, are benefit from United Way programs. And so just appreciative of the work you do and how you're able to leverage our dollars to make them grow in the community and improve the lives of others.
Awesome. Thank you. How are you feeling about a 2021 campaign and our relationship with United Way?
We're really excited about it. The United Way campaign is one of our favorite events throughout the year. We try to make it inclusive for all of our employees and be able to talk about, the benefits and how those dollars are important in the community and the community that we serve. So we're looking forward to being able to engage with our employees in person and planning some fun events to be able to support the campaign.
I'm guessing your employees are probably working mostly remote or hybrid, but have you heard anything from them regarding the 21 campaign?
We participated over this last month with the Stuff the Bus campaign. So we've gotten a lot of books. So we're really excited about that.
Nice.
And so, we try to talk about United Way throughout the year. And so we already have our committee established and, they're starting to plan some events to be able to kick off the campaign.
And can we as a group offer you anything of value to your business or your employee committee?
I think one of the things that we've really appreciated in past campaigns is being able to have a speaker to talk to our employees about the benefits or the programs that they offer and how United Way supports them and the good that they do in our community. So we have always been super appreciative of having that really resonates with our employees as they are very mission driven and it just continues to heighten their awareness of all the good things going on in our community.
Awesome. Thank you. Next is a fun part. It's a fun part of my job. Kind of the why I'm involved and get to share my story. I want to hear your story too, Elizabeth, but gosh, I'm so old. A few decades ago, my wife and I got involved with reading books to Des Moines school kids, second, third graders, little kiddos. And we learned of a stat back then that kids in third grade who can't read at grade level are 4 times likely to not graduate from high school. And we learned that back then. We learned United Way's commitment to education, and we've stayed committed to Des Moines schools throughout the years, but knowing that United Way embraced that early childhood education mission and the passion got us excited about getting involved in United Way. I'd love to hear how you were first introduced to United Way, Elizabeth.
Well, I've always been a strong supporter of United Way, even before I was in Des Moines. When I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, have always just appreciated what they do in the community, and particularly here in Des Moines, I feel a strong connection to it. And the customers that we serve are also benefit from United Way programs, and so being able to lift them up and allow them to live their best life is important. And there's just a lot of synergy in what we do and what United Way does. So it's really important and close to our hearts.
Awesome. Very good. Gina, you want to start the first slide?
Yep, I will go ahead and share my screen now.
Okay.
Can everyone see that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. There we go. Perfect. Well, as we kind of go through this meeting, we already did, the introductions and everything, but we will, go through why running a United Way campaign is important. I'll share a little bit more about the community impact report, how we ended up with our 2020 goals, and then our new United to Thrive framework, so we can learn a little bit more about that. And then finally, we'll review your campaign profile, your history, so we can see what we think for this year as far as goal setting. And then we will, kind of end up with any questions that you might have, but definitely feel free to stop us at any point if you have any questions throughout the meeting. But I will go ahead and turn it back over to Brian.
And Elizabeth, you may have seen some of these slides in the past years, but really wanted to focus on the value proposition United Way offers. And we are an organization truly in the heart of the community. That diagram on the left kind of portrays where we are, we think, in the community. Annually, we support 20,000 individuals, whether it's donors or volunteers, and we're very proud of that. We support 350 businesses and their employees annually. Without those businesses, we couldn't do what we do in our community. We also support 160 nonprofits and their investment in well-being, health and wellness, education, essential needs, and financial stability. And then government. We are constantly driving policy change locally and statewide and creating those public-private partnerships that make our communities what they are today. And before we kind of share your impacts on investment, want to share some of the benefits we think of running a campaign. We believe that when you run a campaign and you're engaged, I'm pointing, Elizabeth, when the CEO is engaged and the employees are engaged, the community benefits. We think it benefits not only in those service needs, but also it supports your mission. We think really good employees want to work for really good companies. And the really good companies provide a culture for giving back, we think, to the community. And I think that makes sense. On the left, you see that we received our 4-star charity award again, very proud of that. And also in 2021, named the most influential nonprofit in the Des Moines area. And again, we're very proud of that as well. So why run a campaign? Number one, impact. Your dollars impact the community in those essential needs: early childhood education, health and wellness, economic opportunity, and essential needs. And we do it in a way that's very transparent. Our solutions are very data-driven, and we will change course if we need to based on that data and that strategy. Over 70% of surveyed employees say it's really important to work for a company and a culture that gives back to the community. And 90% of those businesses show I'll call it a brand enhancement bump for being associated with United Way. So we're proud of that enhancement as well. You're also going to see increased engagement. We provide easy options for employees to engage, and engaged employees, we think, are happy employees. And happy employees, we think, yield higher productivity rates and ultimately higher profitability. And we're seeing 23% higher profitability due to those engaged employees. We're also seeing higher job satisfaction rates through professional development, through the community leadership roles and network while volunteering. And then lastly, why support a campaign? It's for those essential services that are free to the community, free to the employees and their families. And want to give a big thank you not only to ABC Company, Elizabeth, but also the $1 million partners that you see on the screen. Des Moines, I think, is head and shoulders above nationally when it comes to communities our size and what we do with these partners and companies like ABC to really deliver on our mission for community enhancement.
Great. So at this time, your United Way staff person would go through the community impact report. We will go through kind of how we finished up with our 2020 goals, some of our highlights from the past year, like I said, where we ended up as far as statistically on those 2020 goals as we ended our 12-year strategic focus in those areas. We'll highlight our COVID-19 response because, of course, last year was a crazy year and we had to pivot a lot of our work in order to better support the community. So we'll highlight that as well. And then, of course, again, 211 was so essential to the community. So that is a big portion of what we'll highlight to these companies, as it was very visible within the community as well. And then finally, we will go through our United to Thrive framework and really introducing that to the companies and what that will look like as far as some of our indicators that we'll be focusing on, which will be a little bit different than what has been focused on in the past, where each portion will have about 4 to 5 indicators that will really show us if we're making good success in the areas of those 5 main points. And then those are those slides. And then now I will turn it over to Brian again to go through your previous campaign results and talk about goal setting for next year for ABC Company.
Thanks, Gina. Before we start, I want to congratulate Elizabeth on the ABC Company's new corporate headquarters, the multi-billion-dollar headquarters in downtown Des Moines. Thank you for that. Let's look at your results for the last couple of years. I want to make sure the numbers are what you've seen in the past. Looks like your employees have leveled off at 350. Number of donors, however, did increase in 2020. So we're glad to see that increase to almost a 50% participation rate. So that's a good trend. Under campaign contributions, employee giving totaling just north of 76,000, corporate giving remaining level at 15. So thank you for that. And the special events in 2020 really jumped that number up to almost $8,000. So appreciate your special events and its contribution. Total campaign contributions just shy of $100,000, up 9% from 2019. So considering it was during a pandemic, great trends in that upward direction. Under leadership giving, a steady increase in leadership donors is good. And those dollars of 16.5 are much appreciated. And the support of Lone Executive, we appreciate that as well. So a big thank you for the 2020 campaign of almost $104,000, 9% increase. Do those numbers match kind of what you kind of had on your books or in your head, Elizabeth?
Yeah, I know that our campaign was up and just really proud and honored of our employees and how they stepped up to the need in the community over the last year. And we're hopeful that we'll be able to sustain that and continue to grow contributions in our involvement in the campaign over this next year.
Well, we appreciate your leadership, so thank you for that. We are going to offer just a couple of growth strategies, about five or six growth strategies, somewhere in that 3% to 5% increase range. We think we can increase those levels of employee giving to almost 80,000, provide education and opportunities to volunteer, also increasing the investment potential, and work closely with our team at United Way to plan more events that inspire and get folks, your employees involved. Continue the corporate giving, continue to engage employees, and we think somewhere in that 102 to 105,000 range might be a good target for 21. coming out of a pandemic. I'm curious, do those strategies seem, what's your reaction to those strategies?
I think they are doable. I think, we'll be working with our committee on different strategies. And I think part of it is, we'll be working to also understand where our employee base is and where their heartstrings are tugging at, and, and how do we tailor, our messaging, and, thinking about who comes and presents, and how do we leverage all that to encourage more giving.
Very good. I think the additional engagement opportunities are allowing our staff to present at your kickoff meeting. Probably at a regularly scheduled meeting would be better to get more employee engagement if you can be at that kind of meeting. Consider a leadership kind of thank you event, might increase some of that donors. And just thank you for supporting the Loan Executive Program. Without that, we couldn't do what we can do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, United Way does such a fantastic job in our community, and with all of its different programming and how it supports our nonprofits, that it's just awesome.
Very good.
Great. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't throw this in at the end here, but we do have our Campaign Connect series coming up in July, that if you or your campaign chairs or campaign committee would be interested in participating, it'll be a really good opportunity to learn more about some of the resources that we have available to campaign chairs. And we'll have different topics every day. So it's definitely a really good opportunity to not only learn a little bit more about those resources and the changes within United Way, but also network with some of the other campaign chairs. So just wanted to highlight that as well. But Elizabeth, thank you again so much for taking time out of your day to meet with us. We are so excited to work with you and your team again this year. I know it's going to be another rock star year. So thank you for continuing to support us. It really means a lot. So thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Stop sharing. I'm going to stop recording.